Mr. Speaker, for 4 years, our nation suffered the largest illegal mass migration in history at the hands of the Democrats. The cost to our country is immense. Hospitals overrun with illegals demanding care, food pantries and homeless shelters overwhelmed, classrooms packed with non-English speaking students, rampant child sex and labor trafficking, hundreds of thousands of Americans dead from fentanyl overdoses, suppressed wages for working families, billions in welfare costs to support this population, and worst of all, the introduction of the most violent criminals and criminal gangs and cartels in the world into our communities. President Trump reversed these ruinous policies simply by enforcing our existing immigration laws. Illegal border crossings immediately plunged more than 95%. The largest illegal mass migration in history is now being followed by the largest legal deportation in history, although the Democrats are doing everything they can to obstruct it. One aspect of this deliberately engineered nightmare was the abuse of so-called temporary protected status. It proved Ronald Reagan's maxim that there's nothing more permanent on this earth than a temporary government program. Now, as its name implies, temporary protected status is supposed to provide temporary residency to legal aliens who happen to be visiting here when a disaster in their own country temporarily prevented their safe return. Well, the Democrats turned this temporary program into an open-ended and unconditional invitation for aliens to illegally enter our country and then remain indefinitely. Under Biden, the number of TPS beneficiaries nearly quadrupled in just 4 years as aliens illegally entered our country in order to claim this status. The Immigration and Nationality Act not only gives the President the power to extend temporary status, as Biden did, it also gives the President the power to withdraw that status when it's no longer applicable or in the interests of our country, as this President has done. Now, Barack Obama granted temporary protected status to Haitian nationals in this country when Haiti suffered an earthquake in 2010. For 16 years, this status has persisted in different iterations, including multiple designations, redesignations, and extensions. During the Trump administrations, the Department of Homeland Security has attempted to end this temporary status for Haiti, noting that allowing hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens to reside in our country indefinitely is counter to our national interest. The vast majority of these TPS beneficiaries under Biden did not enter the country legally, only to find themselves stranded by unfortunate events. Rather, they entered our country illegally to claim such status, encouraged, aided, and abetted by the Democrats in power. Indeed, as the House Judiciary Committee documented in a report early last year, of the roughly 340,000 Haitian TPS holders, 312,000, 91%, came to the United States illegally. Their reward for committing this crime was a work permit and indefinite protection from deportation. And yes, illegal entry into this country is a federal crime. Abuses like these allowed the TPS program to balloon from roughly 410,000 when Biden took office to nearly 1.5 million aliens from 16 different countries by the day he left office. As the number of aliens with TPS skyrocketed, American communities such as Logansport, Indiana, Springfield, Illinois, and Charleroi, Pennsylvania, cried out for help. Charleroi population of 4,000 swelled to 7,000 almost overnight as a flood of Haitian nationals took up residence. The little town was forced to spend $400,000 for English language instructors and $1 million overall just to support the influx of students. This was all taken from the resources that would otherwise have been available to their own students. Our Immigration Subcommittee took testimony last year from a local official there who told us of severe strains on housing, medical care, education, emergency services, law enforcement services, and other social services. He testified to a dramatic increase in traffic collisions and citizens of this peaceful small town now afraid to walk the streets. The Trump administration has heeded the cries of the American people. Since taking office, the President has moved to withdraw TPS status for foreign nationals whose conditions no longer warrant such status. In other cases, the Trump administration has determined that these TPS designations are simply not in our nation's self-interest. These decisions are clearly provided for under the Immigration and Nationality Act. But today, my Democratic colleagues argue that we should ignore all of this, that we should return to the Biden administration's immigration policies, starting with Haitian TPS. If this bill passes, I think we can expect TPS status to be extended to the millions more who wish to exploit our country and its taxpayers. Americans will not soon forget the image of thousands of illegal aliens from Haiti pouring across the southwest border and crowding under the bridge in Del Rio, Texas. Put simply, this bill would serve as de facto amnesty for hundreds of thousands of aliens from Haiti who illegally poured across our southern border. America does not need to relive that nightmare, and that is a choice. And I urge my colleagues to oppose the bill today, and I reserve the balance of my time.